What's going on, guys? Andrew here, and today I wanted to talk about something that's a very subtle technique. It's something that I think separates a beginner guitarist from one that's a little maybe further along, and it's the use of vibrato on guitar. One of the biggest compliments I've ever gotten was from a singer that I was on stage with, and I had just gotten done taking a lead and, kind of fell back into my rhythm duties, and the singer leans over and says, that was really great. It sounded like you were singing, which is a huge compliment for me, and I think for any guitarist trying to take a lead guitar and a single line and create something that's almost has a vocal quality or like a singing quality. And I think one of the best ways to achieve this is by using vibrato. Now, a lot of my favorite guitarists when I was growing up had this sort of lead style, and I think that a big part of what characterizes your sound as a guitarist or your voice, I'm not talking about your actual voice, I'm talking about your voice on guitar with your lead guitar playing, is the way that you use vibrato, because I find that everyone does it a little differently. Some people have a little bit of a slower vibrato, which would be like, but some people have a little bit of a faster vibrato. I find that even some players, like I know Jimmy Page almost kind of has almost like a nervous vibrato, like it kind of sounds like he's almost, and maybe he was almost barely playing it, but it gives you this sort of characteristic, and it's almost like nuances of the human voice, the way that one voice sounds different from another. And I think it's something, if you're looking to step up your playing a little bit or get better at playing lead, and you're not really fully aware of this or implementing it with a thought behind it, it's something that I think would really help your playing. So let's dive right into it. If you enjoy guitar related content and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be notified when I post a new video. It helps me let you know when a new video gets posted. So let's jump right into the technique itself. Now, what you're really doing here is like micro bending. I mean, if you know about bending on guitar, you want to stay within the temperament, meaning, you can do micro pitch bending where you're not exactly bending into another real note. You're sort of bending in between, but usually bending is done strictly along the tempered scale, meaning that you're either going to bend in a half step or a whole step or a step and a half. And vibrato is really more of like a micro bending back and forth. So you want to grab a note. This is without vibrato. And this would be with vibrato added. Now, if you notice, there's all kinds of variances that you can do in terms of the speed. Let me actually put it into a little bit of context. This would be, so I'm going to play a little lick, and on the last note, I'm going to put some vibrato on it. I think this will be a little better context. So here's a slow vibrato. And here would be like a faster vibrato. On that kind of lick, depending on the tempo of the song, it also, the speed that you want to do depends on the tempo of the song. I like the sound of the second one a little better with the way that the speed of the lick came into it, and that phrase just as like an isolated phrase. I thought that the faster vibrato worked a little more. The other thing that you can vary with vibrato, aside from the speed, is the depth. So you can do a shallow vibrato. Or you can do it a little bit more exaggerated, a little deeper, meaning that you're bending further. The first one sounded a little too subtle for me. The second one sounded almost a little too far, so you could meet in the middle. And this is the kind of thing that you want to just practice. There's no one that can really help you decide how far you need to bend. It needs to work in the context of a song, and it also needs to work just for you and just sound good. And this is not the kind of thing that you can just quickly develop. I'm showing you this just as a basic, this is the basic concept, but this is the kind of thing that's developed over years of playing, and you're not going to be able to learn this as easy as you could just learn like a song from a tab or like a basic picking technique. Now, when I'm doing a bend, for instance, I like to bend up into the note, let it hang for a second, and then do the vibrato. And that obviously has to do with the total length of the sustained note, but I like to just hold it for a second and then let the vibrato go. If you listen to vocalists or even flautists, I feel like with a flute or a violin, for instance, is like a great example of like an instrument. If you hear a player, two violin players, and one of them knows how to use vibrato, it makes you sound like way more pro, because it's really just that's like the next level. For anyone that feels like they need to learn the basics a little bit more or interested in any kind of lessons in theory, I do have a couple other videos on my page, one of them being a lesson on scales and which scales to use, where I show you a minor scale and a major scale that will work over their respective keys. I also have a funk and R&B tutorial that covers some double stop things and some rhythm things and also the tones that I like. And I also have a blues rock tutorial that covers right around that same thing, the tones that you want to get, the scales that you want to use, and also some songs that are blues inspired that you might not know. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and ring the bell so you can be notified when I post a new video. And remember to drop a comment for your tips with vibrato. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, take it easy.